Hi. I'm hopefully going to be doing a relatively quick video today, and I'm going to be eating while I do it, and you're going to understand why I need to do this in a minute. So I've talked a little bit about my mental health issues on previous videos. I've suffered with postnatal depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. I've had social anxiety for most of my life, really, about 2 decades worth of social anxiety now. I suffered depression in my teen years. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, and it's affected me in lots of ways. The light's just awful in here at the moment, I'm sorry. It's affected me in a lot of ways, both physically and mentally, and it's had huge effects on my life. But for the most part, these days, I seem to have it under control. I am currently on antidepressants, not too strong a dose, but, a dose. And, and an important part for me is keeping my energy up. So I'm currently here at 6:30 in the evening eating a bowl of porridge with dried fruit and banana and maple syrup in it to try and get my blood sugar up with something that will actually last a length of time. Because today has been a rough day. As I've said before, and as I kind of just said just now, I have generally been on an upward trend the last few months, and that is kind of what it's like. It is an upward trend, but with all trends there are dips, and today is a dip, and I can't tell you why. Nothing specific happened. The children weren't particularly irritating or particularly draining or demanding. The day didn't ask a lot of me. I haven't needed to do anything. My wrist is still very bad from a wrist surgery that I had almost 2 weeks ago now. So I'm not really able to do very much. I can't drive or anything like that. It hurts even to be holding the bowl in that hand, so I'm going to stop doing that now. So I'm not in a position at the moment where I'm being forced to do a lot or having to use a lot of energy, or I don't actually have to use up mental energy, but that tends to be what I do, is I use a lot of mental energy. I do a lot of constant internal analysing all the time. It's kind of my way. And sometimes I catch myself doing it and I'll make myself stop, and other times, for whatever reason, I'm less able to do that. And I didn't wake up thinking today's going to be a dodgy day. I didn't it wasn't like that feeling, that feeling when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It wasn't quite like that. I wasn't sorry, I'm trying to get the light right. I wasn't I didn't have that intuition at the start of the day. It gradually developed over the course of the day, and to the point where this evening I hid in the bathroom for 5 minutes because I just couldn't. And I hid in things, and I've heard Russell Brand talk about this recently with his new book that he's just, it's either just released or it's about to release, or what, I'm not sure, which is called Recovery Freedom from Our Addictions. And I know that when I'm having one of these days, one of these dips, I have my coping mechanisms, which are forms of addiction and also forms of hiding as well. And it tends to be hiding in technology. So I'll hide in my computer or I'll hide in my phone. And I think that's becoming more of a common thing with, internet phones and things like that, and people just having access to so much information right in their pocket. It's a really easy way of distracting ourselves from what's going on. And I know that's what I'm doing today. And there are days where I'm better able of saying, do you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to step away. I'm going to analyse how I'm feeling. And there are days where, I'm just tired and I don't want to. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to question every thought I have and try and figure out what the root cause is. As much as I know I probably should, I just don't want to, and I didn't want to today. So I took myself off. I had 5 minutes in the toilet and just calmed down a bit. But I just got cross with the kids as I was putting them to bed as well, which I hate. I hate when I do that. But Eloise wasn't listening. She wasn't listening to the story. She was misbehaving and fidgeting around and just generally being a nuisance. And I was trying to hear about, Rufus was trying to ask me a question that he really wanted my attention for and really wanted me to answer, and I wanted to answer it, and I couldn't do that because Eloise was misbehaving. So I got cross with her, and then I got cross with Rufus because it's a long story, but basically he ended up crying over something that didn't really need tears over, and was completely preventable. And in fact, they weren't even proper tears. They were, he started off with these crocodile tears, and then he ends up sort of crying on top of that, like at the end of, you know, the sort of the crocodile tears end up leading to actual tears, and it's completely ridiculous and completely over dramatic. And as much as I want to support him having feelings, those are, you know, that's like an actor crying on cue. It doesn't really need as much attention as others, and it really frustrated me in the moment, because it's like, you know what, I've got so much housework to do, I've got so much stuff to do now, I'm not going to be able to just sit down and relax, and you're complaining and crying for no reason, and I'm tired. And anyway, I wasn't a perfect parent today, not that I'm ever a perfect parent, but it's highlighted more when I'm having one of these days, and I hate it, and I feel rubbish for it, and I have to learn to forgive myself when I have days like this, and that's really, really hard. And I think the reason I wanted to make this video now was because partly I wanted to have a record of me feeling like this, and so that I could go back to it. I can know that these days happen, but I can also look at my other videos and see that actually we can have really good days too, and so that I've got that kind of balance. But I also think it's important to talk about these things and to not pretend that everything's rosy all the time, because it's not. Whether you've actually been diagnosed with depression or any kind of mental illness, or you're just a person who hasn't had that and you're just living your life, there are going to be great days and there are going to be not so great days, and there are going to be awful days, and I think it's important that we talk about that. And so I just wanted to make this video just so that you know that my life is not wonderfully rosy all the time, and my mind is not a wonderfully rosy place all the time. Sometimes it is really busy and really negative and dark and not even coherent enough for me to be able to explain in this video exactly what's been going on up here. It's kind of just been a fog and a haze of and it's been pretty rubbish, and I'm hoping that tomorrow is better. I should be getting the stitches out of my hand tomorrow with any luck, if I can get an appointment. So maybe that'll make me feel better. I mean, it's hurting to do that. I don't even know why I'm moving my hand as much as that, because it's hurting too much. Alright, I'm going to finish my porridge. I'm going to go and tidy up the house a bit, maybe do some laundry, because I know how to have fun on a Thursday night. And I will see you guys again soon. Okay.